3rd century ad. Valentine, I see you're working hard as usual, a familiar voice said. Marcus, oh, it's been ages since we've seen you. Where have you been? I thought I would never see you again. Oh, nothing. I've been traveling the world. I met a woman and fell in love with her so much that I forgot my way home. Ha ha ha, that sounds like you. Come on, you can tell me everything over a glass of wine. Oh, this is so delicious. Did you make it yourself? Yes, thank God. This year the grapes have produced incredible fruit. Why don't you start selling wine? You could make a lot of money. No, it's not my thing. When you do something for yourself, it turns out better. And it's a pleasure to treat such distinguished guests as you. Let him lie there. You're a strange man, Valentine. You're the only one I've ever met. Neither wealth nor women, even alcohol, ever stupefies you. Haha, should they? To each his own. I'm more intoxicated by other things. And what are these things? Pure love, the wind of freedom, the sound of nature, and the sincere laughter of people. You can't buy or sell all of that. I look at you and realize that you haven't changed a bit. How old are you now? 30? No, only 25. It's time to remember, we've known each other all our lives, and you're only a year younger. No offense, you know I don't even remember how old I am. Ha ha ha! You haven't changed either, good old Marcus. Why should I change? I've always lived the same way. So where have you been? I went to the city of Viterbo. I walked for 4 days. A friend told me that I could easily find a job there. Well, I decided to go, and I did find a job there. I worked in a potter's shop for 2 years, gaining experience. I'm getting pretty good at it now, but you know, it's not an easy job. I still have a lot to learn. The potter always says I'm stupid. He says I'm dumb as a rock. Why does he say that? Don't you listen to him? I do listen and I try to, but I still make a mistake from time to time. But the potter is strict, but he treats me well. I don't complain about my life. At least I have a good job and always have a penny in my pocket. Why did you come back? To visit you and my family. After all, I haven't seen them for 2 years, and it's an expensive pleasure to send letters. And when are you coming back? I'll sit with you for a while and then I'll be on my way. Otherwise, the potter won't let me off the hook. And who is that woman you met? Oh, beautiful as the evening sun and so kind. I met her at the markets. I fell head over heels in love and she liked me too, but her family was not poor. They wouldn't accept a simple guy like me. If they find out, my head will fall off my shoulders. Well, don't be disappointed before time. If God wills, everything will be fine. You just have to show that you're not a fool, and her parents will give you the freedom you need. Do you really think so? Well, what else could it be? For a guy like you, it's a wonderful opportunity. Just don't be silly. When you go to say hello, visit the bathish, dress properly, and buy some gifts to please them. And most importantly, treat them with respect, and then you'll make a good impression. You're right, but the problem is with money. Of course I save a little as I can, but I don't have much, and I'm not going to ask my parents. They barely have enough on their own. Just a minute, I can't offer you any money, but I'll give you some good wine for your trip. When you get there, sell it and do as I said, and you will be happy. But you didn't want to sell your wine. Why did you change your mind? I don't want to sell it, but to give it to a friend is another thing. Someday, if I need it, you will help me. Thank you, Valentine. God knows I will never forget your kindness. And what are you going to do? Will you continue to live here? There is a small church nearby. I've been going there for many years, but not recently. I came to help. The roof is old, it almost fell on people's heads. So I decided to repair it, and the local priest, in return for my help, offered me to study with him. May God help me learn to read and write. That's a good thing. Maybe you'll become a priest and guide people to the true path. I'd have to get wise myself first. That's what I need. I'm dumb as a post. I can't read or write. When I learn, I'll teach you. Next time I'll bring you some nice dishes. I'll make them myself. I'll be waiting for that. Well, Valentine, I'm going to get on the road before the sun goes down. If I hurry, I can get there in 3 days. You wait, I'll bring some wine as I promised. I don't know why I keep remembering this moment over and over again. I haven't seen Marcus since then, and it's been such a long time. I wish I knew how his fate turned out, but some things are simply not meant for us to know. As I wanted, I studied under a local priest. I restored the church, mentored people, and continued my studies. Once I had learned, I dedicated my free time to teaching literacy to others. There were many people, especially children. Every day, more and more people came to us, seeking salvation. Some came to atone for their sins, while others sought guidance on how to live. Valentine, aren't you tired? You've been here since early morning and you could eat stairs. Father Antonius, I'm not tired at all. I look at you and I see, since you came here, a lot has changed for the better. It was clearly God's will that you should come. But I feel that soon you will be alone here. What do you mean, but I feel that soon you will be alone here? I look at you and I see, since you came here, but I feel that soon you will be alone here. What do you mean? I am old, Valentine, very old. Every day I feel myself getting closer and closer to my end. But that's how it should be. Both body and mind are tired. My conscience is clear. I have done everything in my power, and now I must let the young ones take over. I want you to take my place after I die. But Father Antonius, how can I do that without you? I don't know nearly as much as you do. How can I guide people if I know nothing? No one in this world knows everything. When I became a priest, I was afraid, didn't understand and didn't know, just like you. The most important thing is to learn and teach others. This is our task. And whether you know or not, you will know when the time comes. What if I don't succeed? You will if it's God's will. I believe in you. You're a good man. If not you, then who? But there are other worthy students of yours, aren't there? Perhaps, but I chose you, because I believe you are the one who can lead people to the light. Most importantly, believe and do what your heart tells you, and what will happen, no matter what you want. If you say so, Father, how can I argue with that? Very well then, I'm counting on you. Could you do me a favor? Of course, anything you ask. The local prison guard, an old friend of mine, his daughter is blind, so she has no friends. I visit her often, but when I'm gone, she'll be all alone. Even a simple conversation can break up her gray routine. She is always sitting near. Father Antonius, is that you? I hate to disappoint you, but he asked me to meet with you today. Valentine, isn't it? You know my name? Father Antonius has told me a lot about you. What did he say, if you don't mind me asking? That you're a good person. If Father Antonius decided to send you? Yes, he's not feeling very well. I'm sorry to hear that, but he doesn't seem to be the type to fear death. I'd even say he's looking forward to it. He believes that after death he will go to heaven, just like I believe that. Father Antonius is a good man. He has nothing to fear. Unfortunately, it's rare to meet such kind and sincere people. Yes, he is a good teacher. He taught me everything I know. And now you teach others, so his lessons were not in vain. I heard you teach everyone. That's commendable. Isn't it hard? Where do you get your strength from? I love it. I teach those who really want to learn. I don't force them, so it's easy. They learn quickly. I'm happy to help and watch others realize their dreams. You're a really nice person and not a bad conversationalist. Why did you choose this place? I like the warm, salty wind that blows from the sea. This place lets me relax, think, and take a break from people. How did you lose your eyesight? I was born like this. Unfortunately, there's no way to fix it. I often wondered why I had this fate. I was constantly angry, blaming God for treating me this way. But Father Antonius was able to convince me that God chose this test for me, precisely because I could endure it with dignity. It made me think. All my life I always relied on others, but after that I started trying to live on my own. It's hard. I still can't do many things. But now I know for sure that my life is not as horrible as I once thought. I can sit here, enjoying the warmth of the sun and the soft breeze, breathing in the smell of the sea and listening to the birds sing. And I started learning to sing and play musical instruments, although I'm not very good yet. Will you show me what you've learned? If you want me to. I'd love to be your first audience. Taking out an old-looking flute, Julia began to play a gentle melody that seemed to convey all her emotions and experiences. A cheerful melody with a hint of sadness, reflecting the sorrow in Julia's soul. The sounds of nature around her complemented this melody, helping her immerse herself in reflection. What do you think? I know I'm not very good, but I tried. I've never heard a more beautiful melody. You flatter me. I still don't know how to do many things. I said the same thing to Father Antonius today, and you know what he said to me? The most important thing is to study, and sooner or later you will get it, something like that. That's true. And you, Valentine, what do you like to do? I like to read. Books give me the opportunity to imagine things I've never seen. Then could you read to me sometime? I'd love to hear you read. How can I refuse after you played me such an incredible melody? Next time I will definitely read to you. I'll be looking forward to it, but I must say, when you talk to me, time seems to disappear. I could talk for ages and not get tired. Then I'll be glad to be your companion. I came to her every day, from morning until evening, unable to feel complete without her presence. We spent time together, talking about everything, discussing the little things that only we could notice, reading books that transported us to distant worlds. I listened to her melodies, and in every chord, in every note, I could hear her soul, the one closest to mine. Every moment with her seemed priceless, and it seemed to me that nothing else in the world gave me as much pleasure as simply being with her. So the days passed, blending into weeks, then into months. Every day I came, and each time I opened the door I saw her smiling face, as if she were waiting for me with impatience. She was always there in the same spot, enjoying the warm summer breeze that embraced her, shimmering like gerbils in her hair. Even when the sky frowned, when rain poured down, and the cold winds arrived mercilessly from the horizon, she remained there, always ready to share her energy. Her beauty, both outer and inner, was incredibly soothing. The calmness she radiated, like living warmth, warmed my heart, melting away all my worries. Her words, full of gentleness and wisdom, made my heart beat in unison with her stories, and I felt that rhythm become a part of me. It was more than just the time we spent together, it was a harmony I could find only with her. Crowd of people near the coffin, and Valentine who reads a eulogy. As I stand before you today, I feel both deeply saddened and deeply grateful. Father Antonius was not only a teacher to me, but also a friend and a mentor, who guided me through the darkness of doubt and led me to the light of faith. I remember how on that first day I arrived here, my soul was in confusion, but you showed me the right way. Your words and your example always guided me when I doubted myself. Now that you have left this world and God has taken you to heaven, I realize that your lessons will remain with me forever. Your light will never fade in my heart, and I will continue to follow the path you showed me. Farewell is but a new stage in our spiritual life. My heart is heavy at the thought of separation, but I know you are in God's kingdom, and our souls remain connected through our love for Him. Bless me, Father, and let my prayer always be with you. I will forever be grateful for all that you have given me. After my master passed, I became the new priest of the church. With a deep sense of responsibility, I worked diligently to help others, just as Father Antonius had done before me. Following his guidance, I continue to learn and teach, listening to the call of my heart and striving to lead others as he did. So his time has come. I wish I had time to say goodbye to him properly. I saw you came to the farewell ceremony. That's enough. He's in a better place now, and I'm sure he knows how you feel. He was one of the few people who always supported me, she whispered, holding back tears. I will miss him too. He was a good man. The church is much harder without him. He did everything he could until the end. And now that it's all my responsibility, I realized how much he did, even at his advanced age. What do you plan to do now? The same as always, helping people and growing the church. I see. Julia took out her flute and began to play a sad tune, reflecting her sincere feelings for her friend. A sad tune? It doesn't even sound like you wrote it. Melodies reflect the author's feelings, and I feel very sad right now. Even though I understand that everything is as it should be, you can't escape from it. And you, are you sad? Of course, like everyone else, but I believe that he is in a better place now. And when my time comes, I will meet him like a worthy student who has lived up to his mentor's expectations. People who truly believe in this are the happiest people in the world. You are not afraid of death. You are not afraid of anything. Death always comes whether you want it to or not. But if you live right, you will meet death not as your enemy, but as a friend who has come to accompany you on your last journey. That's how it is. You need to be afraid of evil, because it intoxicates more than any wine. Only the strong will be able to give up evil, holding on to good. But we are all sinners, so all we can do is try our best to be forgiven for our sins. Are you also a sinner? Like all people, I'm no different. We have all done something we regret. I see. What are you sorry for, Valentine? It's not the most pleasant story. I'll listen to it. Maybe I'll tell it to you another time. We all carry our own yoke. You have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. If you want to talk, I will always listen to you just as you listen to me. Tell me, do you believe that our destiny is revealed from birth? Yes, I believe in it. We all live according to the scenario that God created for us. Everyone fulfills their role. I don't think so. And why is that? Although I believe in fate, I believe that each of us can change it, to do something that will affect the fate of others, to save or destroy someone else's life. Everything is in our hands. And what about me? Why was I born blind? Because that is your test. Although you cannot see, you remain a kind, gentle person who lives without harming the lives of others, doing everything in your power not to interfere with the lives of others. So you're saying that everything depends on people? We will never, no matter how much we want to understand God's plan, but we can try to imagine it. People are born both the same and different. They develop the way they want to, but by making choices, they change their lives and the lives of people around them. Father Antonius didn't force me to come to you. He just asked me I could choose to come or not. But I came because I wanted to. I was interested to meet a new person, to learn more about him, and so we became great companions, talking about everything and learning something new every day. But what would have happened if I hadn't come? Our lives would have changed, so it wasn't fate, it was our own choice that led us. Wow, it's hard to understand, although I can imagine what you're talking about. If I had continued to complain about what I can't see, causing trouble for others, then that choice would have changed not only my life, but also the lives of the people around me. I wouldn't have met you, and I would have continued to exist all the time, not live. Exactly, that's why I think God is watching, sometimes intervening, giving people the opportunities they choose. To do or not to do, to say or not to say, to leave or to stay. The beginning and the end are the same, but the way we live shows how good people we are. Yes, exactly. Interesting you are, Valentine. Then what about the rest? Love, happiness, and other emotions everyone can choose. I like to believe that everyone chooses it for themselves. Didn't you choose this place because you feel happier here than anywhere else? But not all people are like us. For some people it's not enough. Maybe so, but as long as it doesn't hurt others, I think it's okay, and even better if it brings both pleasure and helps others. Both the cobbler who makes shoes and enjoys it, and the customer who wears the shoes and enjoys it, everyone is happy. You would have made a great philosopher. Ever thought about it? Ha ha ha, I did, but I still chose to guide people to the path of truth. Year after year, I continued to live the way my heart told me to. People who came to church helped me in any way they could, and I did the best I could. Valentine stands in the middle of a church with many people and a man and a woman in the middle. Wedding ceremony. Today we are gathered here to celebrate not just the union of two hearts, but the true blessing of God that this holy union gives us. Love is a gift that comes from God Himself, and it is in love that we find true strength, the power of patience, mutual respect, and boundless devotion. When I see these two hearts beating together today, I am reminded of the words of our ancestors: love does not disappear, it only grows stronger when we allow it to grow. Today you promise each other not only words but also actions that will be overflowing with the blessing and power of love. Your support, your loyalty is what will keep your union together, even in the most difficult times. I believe that your life together will be filled with light and goodness, and that your souls will always faithfully support each other, as we all support you today. I wish for every day of your life to be like a holy rite, filled with love and mercy, and that your union will be an example for others of how to love, serve, and appreciate each other faithfully. May God's blessings be with you on this journey, and may your hearts always beat in unison. Every day more and more people ask me to officiate their wedding ceremony. I don't understand why I deserve this honor, but out of all of them, people are turning to me more and more often. Perhaps many are just grateful for my help in the past. May the newly married couple kiss to seal the sacred union for all eternity. You've got a lot of work to do, don't you? Julia, you came too? I was passing by and heard your speech. I couldn't resist. You're a good speaker. You flatter me, although lately more and more people have indeed come to me asking me to bless their holy union. It's not surprising. Listening to you, I get a pleasant feeling in my heart that everything will go on as God wills. That's what attracts people to you. Haha, if this continues, you will become a real symbol of love. A symbol of love. That sounds good, but can someone who's never been in love become a symbol of love? Who knows, only God knows. That day, Julia, without realizing it, was able to predict the future. The people whose sacred union I blessed lived happily soul to soul, telling others the legend those who get engaged in my church will love each other for the rest of their lives, as if they had met for the first time. I have often thought about this. Doesn't this contradict the faith I teach others? But every time I remember the words of my mentor who told me to listen to my heart, I know that these are just legends. However, if it makes people happier, I will neither deny nor confirm it. Still, not making a choice also means that the choice has already been made. There was a lot of work. More than ever, I could not refuse others' requests, because it was my duty to teach, conduct prayers, hear confessions, and perform other traditional sacred rites. But people saw my efforts and helped me in any way they could. Good always comes back. I believe in it and I know it. That's how my life went on, quietly, calmly, and most importantly, I was always confident in my actions, hoping that I was living according to God's commandments. But it seems that God decided to give me one more test to make sure that I would not go down the path of evil. Valentine meets Marcus and his beloved in the middle of the night, during a thunderstorm. Marcus, oh, you're getting wet. Come in, make yourself at home. It's been a long time, old friend. I'm sorry to come so late. Looking at their frightened, tired, and sad faces, I realized that they had come to me for a reason. What's wrong? Are you in trouble? Oh, this time I'm really in big trouble, my friend. Meet my lover, the one I told you about earlier. I'm glad to finally meet you, Mr. Valentine. Marcus has told me a lot about you. Only good things, I hope, I asked jokingly, trying to cheer them up a little. Well, how can I say no to friends in trouble? Tell me what happened. Aurelia's parents decided to give her away in marriage. The ceremony was supposed to take place today, and You what? You kidnapped the bride? Oh, Marcus. I know, but what else could I do? She and I tried to get their blessing all these years, but no matter how hard we tried, they never wanted me. My parents, they wanted to marry me off to a wealthy merchant who had his eye on me for a long time. I begged them to let me go, but this is a very serious offense. If you're caught, you'll be executed in public. God help you. What are you going to do? I know, Valentine, I understand perfectly well, but I had no choice. Without her, my life is worthless. Let us stay just for one night. We'll leave in the morning. Wherever you go, people will be looking for you. It won't be easy to hide. Do you have a plan? I'm still thinking about it. Leaving in the morning is not an option. You'll be caught for sure, but if you leave now, you might have a chance. How did you even get here so fast? I have a horse. He's a good companion. That's good. Now I'm going to pack you some food for the journey, some money, and give you some clothes so you don't stand out. Go to the city of Enzio, where you can rest for a few days, and then go as far away from here as possible. And under no circumstances should you tell anyone that you are fugitives. Do you understand? I'll do whatever you say. Then I'll get everything I need right now. I don't have a lot of money, but I'll give you everything I have. You're helping me out again, Valentine. How can I ever repay you? The main thing for me is that you two survive. I won't forgive myself if anything happens to you. I have one more favor to ask. I know you've already done so much for us, but I beg you. Ask for anything you want. We're friends after all, Marcus, since we were little kids. Bless our union with Aurelia. Rumors about you have spread all over Rome. I was sure it was people talking about you. If you bless us, I believe we will succeed. His words hit me hard. What should I do? Does God want me to? Do I have the right to bless them? But is it right to separate lovers? Is this the way God told people to live? No. Marcus and Aurelia's escape is nothing more than a manifestation of their sincere love, which they have maintained all these years, even knowing all the consequences. Once again, I have a choice to make, but I know what's right. It's not an easy thing to ask me, Marcus. I won't have time to prepare the ceremony, but I can give you my blessing. Marcus and Aurelia hold hands in the middle of the church, with Valentine standing behind them giving a speech. Today we are gathered here to bless the holy marriage of God's children, Marcus and Aurelia, whose love is in its most difficult stage. They're facing a choice that will make their hearts beat harder than ever and will require strength and determination. But I see in their eyes not only fear or doubt, but unconditional faith that together they can overcome any difficulties. This marriage is not just a union of two people, it is a bond of souls that strive to go through life together, supporting each other in moments of joy and sorrow. a love that they not only feel but also protect, even when the road seems difficult. This is proof that true love is not afraid of trials but only grows stronger through them. God has blessed this union, and we as His servants join in this holy act today to reaffirm our support and prayers, wishing them strength and wisdom in every step of this journey. May their hearts remain open to each other, and may this love blossom, bringing light and joy to all around them. Marcus Aurelia, accept this blessing as a symbol of faith that together you will overcome all obstacles and build your happiness on the foundation of deep love and trust. May God accompany you at every stage of your life together. Thank you, Valentine. I will never forget this. You're a true friend, and a man I respect like a brother. Oh, and one more thing. Before I forget, here he said, taking something out of the bag. I made it especially for you. This jug, I made it especially for you. I put my heart and soul into it. I haven't forgotten how you helped me once. Indeed, it's been so many years, but you've kept your promise. To be honest, I don't even know what to say. It's such an exquisite work. It must have cost a lot of money. I don't feel sorry for you. One day I'll come back and then I'll repay you in full. It's time to go, Marcus. Don't waste any time. I'll have everything ready for you in a moment. Marcus and Aurelia are sitting on a horse with bags on their shoulders, and Valentine stands by to see them off. I put in everything I could. That's enough for now. Thank you, Valentine. I am eternally grateful. God knows, one day I will repay you in full. If that's God's will, then you will. I will pray for you to be well. I believe that God will protect you in your love. Thank you, Mr. Valentine. We will never forget this. Go with God, then take care. We'll meet again, I promise, he said as he set off on his way. After sending them on their way, I prayed that God would help them find happiness and live their lives in peace and harmony. Not a single day passed without me thinking about them, hoping that they were okay. Without realizing it, I was trying to find out, hear or see at least something that could give me a sign of where they were now. Perhaps God took pity on me, and one day I received a letter. I often receive letters, but this one was special. Even the messenger did not know who the letter was from. He only knew that it had to be delivered to me. When I opened it, I saw only one single word that finally managed to calm my worries. Thank you, written in Marcus's handwriting. I knew immediately that these two would be okay. I enjoyed a moment of peace in my soul that I had been missing so much these past few days. So they're all right? I'm glad to hear that. To be honest, I was worried about them getting caught. I was just as worried. After all, he's my only friend. Do you think this is also one of the tests that God sent us? I want to believe that it is, but trials are not given to just one person. It wasn't easy for them, and it wasn't easy for me. I doubt all the time, but this time, for some reason, I made a decision quickly. Maybe it's because my friend asked me to, or maybe it's because I've always been against people being married against their will. No matter how you look at it, love is the most valuable emotion. You can't force someone to love, just as you can't force someone to stop loving. Everything in this world is based on love, but if it was always like this, maybe then we would really live in paradise. Love is different, pure and vicious. Some people love a person, and some love money, power, and strength. If love could be as pure and innocent as those two. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of people like them, unhappy people who have no way to escape, no one to turn to. Do you want to help them? Yes, I do, but I don't know if it's in my power. It's up to you, she said, touching my face, and I will support you no matter what you choose. I helped all the unfortunates who were trying to free themselves from the shackles that bound them in their love. When I blessed the marriages of such people, I did not seek any reward other than a simple, sincere thank you. That was enough. I did it not for fame or profit, but because I believed that my faith and beliefs could change someone's life and give them hope. Whenever possible, I helped them escape, even though I knew it was dangerous. Not everyone could or wanted to take the chance, and I always respected their choice. Understanding the risks, I realized that sooner or later I would be caught. Fear had no right to control my heart. I believed that I was doing what I wanted to do, what God wanted me to do. My vocation is to give love and freedom to those who need it, even if it requires sacrifice. I recently received a letter from Marcus. He and Aurelia are doing great. Soon they will have the baby they've been waiting for, a boy. I think Marcus will be a great father. It was nice to know that they plan to name him after me. I hope I can see him at least once in my life. So they're having a boy? That's good. I'm glad they're doing well. You look a bit upset. Is everything okay? Yeah, just worried. The rumors about you are spreading fast. You know, if these rumors reach the emperor. I understand perfectly well, Julia. If he finds out, I will be executed. I knew what I was doing from the very beginning. There's no point in complaining now. Do you want to leave me alone? Life is changeable, but the beginning and the end are the same. Didn't you say that to me once? You're not afraid of death? In my 41 years, I never dreamed that I would be able to do so much. But still, my heart is troubled. I don't want the church to remain empty. It would be good to find a worthy successor to continue our work, to pass on the legacy to future generations just like Father Antonius did. Is there anyone in mind? Oh yes, there is someone who will definitely be able to guide others to the path of truth. You never told me about this person. Don't worry, you know her as well as you know me. Is that so? Well, what are you going to do now? Are you just going to wait until they catch you? Why wait? I'm going to keep doing what I've always done. I'm going to help people. Will you come to me again? If it's God's will. Do you remember when Father Antonius felt that his time would soon come? She whispered, holding back tears. Something inside me tells me that my time will soon come, and it seems to me that this time will come sooner than we can imagine. Julia didn't answer. She just cried quietly, listening attentively to everything I was telling her. At that moment, I could hardly hold back my tears myself. I didn't want to show fear. I didn't want to scare her. I just wanted to say goodbye. I have something for you, I said, holding out the letter. What is it? Something very important. You will understand soon. I touched her eyes with my hand and closed mine, hoping to witness for the first time the miracle that the Lord had prepared for me in the end. I heard his words and realized that I had the power to change someone's life before I myself disappeared from this world. When she opened her eyes full of hope, Julia stood in front of me. Her face was wet with tears, but she looked straight at me, seeing everything clearly for the first time. God was giving me the opportunity to perform one of his miracles, to give her back her sight because she had remained faithful, kind, and full of love to the very end. But how? How did you do it? God gave me the opportunity. Before I go, I have the opportunity to save as many lives as possible, those who deserve it. You are the first to experience his power and love, and now I have to help others who need it. Are you leaving? I wish I could stay with you a little longer, but my time has come, and I have to go. I have to show people, those who don't believe and those who have been waiting for a sign all their lives, one of the miracles of God. This is my last test. This letter, open it when I'm gone. I will always be with you, even after death. And when your time comes, I will meet you and we will go to eternity together. Valentine walks through the slums treating the poor, followed by a crowd of people. I set out on a journey through the streets of Rome, carrying with me the gift of healing that God had given me. I helped everyone I met on my way, without hesitation, whether they were worthy of this gift or not. My heart was eager to share the love and mercy that was in me. At first, it was only a few people who were afraid to ask for help. But with each step, with each healing, there were more and more of them. People who were watching the miracles followed me, unable to look away. They saw that God had sent me to show them his miracles, to become a witness and messenger of his boundless love. Soon the city seemed to stand still. Thousands of people, from the richest to the poorest, from old to young, began to line up, full of hope and faith. Each of them was looking for healing, and each of them received it. Whether they had wounds on their bodies or pain in their hearts, God gave them peace and strength to go on with their lives. Tears of happiness streamed down the faces of those I touched. Laughter and shouts of joy rang out on every street. Places that were once cold and silent were now filled with light. Traders left their shops, abandoning their goods. Whole families came out of their homes to witness the miracles and followed me, captivated by the power of God at work. My name was being passed around, but I knew it wasn't about me, it was about him, the one who had sent me to be an instrument of his will. And even when I felt my strength leaving me, I did not stop. I knew that I had to go on, that I had to continue to share what I had been given. After all, it was not my glory, but his. And I was only the one who had to remind people of the love and faith that had always been with them. As the sun began to set over the horizon, the church bells rang out, as if to say that the time had come. I stopped, standing in silence, waiting for the inevitable. With each passing minute, the moment when those who were to end my life would arrive grew closer. It was a moment of peace and tension at the same time, like the last breath of dawn, which leaves only darkness and shadow. Father Valentine, by the decree of Emperor Claudius E. Gothicus, you are charged with the grave offense of conspiring to undermine the foundations of our empire, as well as numerous other crimes. Your actions have repeatedly exposed criminal acts, including aiding and abetting fugitives who threaten the safety of citizens and disrupt the order of Rome. You have become not just a lawbreaker, but a symbol of defiance for those who reject the justice of the empire. We have been ordered to escort you from this place, dead or alive, by the will of the emperor himself. We urge you not to resist, but to come with us voluntarily. Your actions now will determine whether you live or die, or whether your fate will take another course. I understand. I will not resist. Do what you must. Follow us. The guards took me to the local prison, its cold walls echoing with the whispers of countless torments and executions. Here I was left to await my sentence, but I knew my stay was not merely a pause before the end. I felt it deep within me. I was walking toward my final moments. Tomorrow I would face execution. Yet as certain as I was of this fate, I also understood that the emperor's intent was not only to take my life. His goal was far greater: to assert his absolute power, to declare that there is only one God himself. I sat in the suffocating darkness awaiting the inevitable. The torturers were preparing their instruments, and though I knew that suffering awaited me, I did not fear. I was ready to face what lay ahead. Tomorrow, 14 February, I would be executed, but in my soul there was neither anger nor dread. There was only an overwhelming peace, one I had never known before. My faith, my mission stood above the pain and the violence that would come. This was not an end, but a part of the greater truth. Throughout the night, the torturers came, cruel and relentless. They beat me, forced me to denounce my beliefs, to claim that I was a heretic, that my actions had been foolish and pointless. They wanted to break me, to prove to those who still followed me that my struggle had been in vain, that my ideals had no worth. The pain was excruciating, but I remained silent. I did not give them the satisfaction of a single cry. Each bruise, each wound was not in vain. I knew that this suffering was a testament to my faith, and that it held meaning beyond the body that was being torn apart. I would not break. No matter the torment, I knew that my mission transcended the fragility of my physical form. The sacrifice, this martyrdom, was part of something far greater than myself. It was worth every moment of agony, because the truth I carried could never be extinguished. Valentine lies headfirst on a beheading stump awaiting execution, and the people who have gathered to see him off, the crowd weeping, knowing all the good deeds he has done. As the morning sun rose, I was informed, as I had expected, that my execution would take place in the central square of Rome. The emperor, in his desire to show his absolute power, intended to make an example of me, but I knew that while they could destroy my body, they could never destroy what I had planted in the hearts of those who believed. I stood looking at the crowd that had gathered to witness my end. Their eyes were filled with tears, their hearts heavy with pain. Yet I saw something else, a strength that would not be swayed. They had seen the miracle of the Lord, and that sight would never fade. These tears, though heavy, would not wash away the faith that had taken root in their souls. No decree from the emperor could erase what they had witnessed. No punishment could extinguish the truth that had been revealed. The seed of faith I had planted would grow, even as I stood at the edge of my life. It would blossom and bear fruit, because the truth cannot be silenced. Even in the darkest moments, it finds a way to rise. With each new day, more souls would be touched, more hearts would turn toward God. This is the truth I leave behind, a truth that transcends death, because truth is a force that does not die. Though my physical form may fall, the faith I ignited will continue to burn, stronger than any tyrant's will. I know this with all my heart, for truth, once set in motion, cannot be contained. A letter from St. Valentine to Julia. My dear Julia, it is difficult for me to find the words to express everything I feel at this moment. I don't know how to convey the deep gratitude I feel for you, for always being so strong and loyal, even in the most difficult moments. Your eyes, despite their blindness, have always reflected more light and wisdom than any others I have ever seen. I cannot understand why God sent me into your life, but I feel that our meeting was no accident. I see your soul pure as the first snow, gentle as the wind on a spring morning. You were witness to my efforts, my actions, and I tried to teach you what I had learned in my life: faith, hope, and love for people, regardless of circumstances. The Lord gave me the opportunity to help you. Your tears were the most valuable gift for me, because they were a sign that the miracle I was able to perform was not just a sign for you, but for all of us. Your healing has become a symbol of faith and hope, and now I see a light in your eyes that I believe will burn forever. Do not be afraid, my dear. Do not fear when the time comes to say goodbye, for even when I leave this world, I will be with you in every step you take. My prayers will always be with you, and I know that you will find your way to the light, even when it is dark. I believe that your heart will always be filled with love and grace, and this light that you carry within you will illuminate not only your life, but also the lives of those you meet. And remember, my dear Julia, I will always be with you. I will not leave you, even when my body departs from this world. You will always remain in my heart, and I will wait for the moment when we meet again in eternity. Until then, I pray for you and bless your actions, your life, and your heart. You are a miracle sent to me from God. With love and blessings, your Valentine. The end.